Hey guys, let's take a look at the Southern Grind Bad Monkey. Blade on the Black Monkey is a 14C 28N blade steel. It's a stainless steel, and how that functions is it holds a good edge, and it is very easy, at least for me, to touch up and resharpen, and takes a really nice edge. You can see we have a nice drop point blade, saber ground, nice belly on it. And I noticed working with this one that the belly is nice. It's enough there that you get the benefits of having that belly and being able to target things such as doing some carving or just general work. I've enjoyed the blade shape on this. Now, looking at this part on the blade, how it kind of sweeps up right here, part of me is looking at it going, this is just begging for an Emerson wave to be added into this section, right? Well, guess what? It does have that option available, so you can get some of these blades with that Emerson wave. Those of you that don't know what that is, basically it's a little hook section that when you pull it out of your pocket, it'll snag on your pocket and then deploy automatically, so to speak. Blade coating on this is a black PVD finish, and you can see that it wears quite well. I've been using this blade off and on for, geez, I don't know, I've taken this out back in the springtime. It is currently November. So this blade has seen a lot of work, and more importantly is this blade is on loan from the late Boy Scout. And the reason I bring that up is because it's already been through rounds of testing. So he's already put this through testing, I've put this through testing, and yes, you can see a little bit of wear in there, but it's that cool wear and not that cheap wear, right? It makes it look like it's been used, and it's a very good quality coating. With the blade shape on this, you do have options. You can go with the drop point that you see here. You can add serrations. You can also go with a tanto with a straight edge, or tanto with serrations. In fact, if you jump on their website, there's a whole bunch of things and options. You can kind of build your own Bad Monkey to what you want, including the handle scale colors, a tumble finish on the blade instead of the black PVD coating. They offer brown, they offer green, black, carbon fiber. There's a bunch of different configurations that you can do if that's something you want to do. So let's drop this down. Let's look at the centering on that. It is perfect. That's really, really nice. And as I think about it, the deployment and the speed and the functionality of the whatever is going on inside here, phenomenal. Now, one thing, see how it drops here. Again, I'm bringing it up because it's important that this has already been through one round of testing with late Boy Scout. It's been through a round of testing with myself. It's been through a lot of pocket carry. What I've noticed in some other knives, when I get them and I do this from the box, I think, oh man, that's nice. You drop it, you see how nice that action is. And it is, it's really nice. But through pocket carry, you get a lot of lint in there, you get garbage in there through use, stuff falls in there. Unless you clean it out, it's a lot of blades I have, you don't maintain, it's hard to do that behind the camera, you don't maintain that nice action inside. So through all of this carry, it really has maintained that action, and I'm very impressed. Again, I have a hard time doing it behind the camera, but that action is just wonderful, and the fact that it stayed like that through all of the use is really impressive to me. You do have the liner lock right here with a titanium frame, so it's not milled out. Flow through constructions with your pillars in the back there, you can see. Jimping up top, both in the handle scales and on the blade portion here. And that jimping I would call meaningful jimping. It does work. Even that alone, the jimping in the frame and the handle scales, that even actually adds some traction. It's good. It's good. Now, you add in the blade in there with that extra gimping, and that is meaningful, functional gimping. It's not going to tear your hands apart though, so I think they've handled that and made that well. Moving on down to the handle scales here, you can see this is a beautiful jade green color. You've got that awesome little pin in there that they've laser etched the bad monkey on. I really like that. It's cool. It sets the knife apart. That being said, you definitely need a specialized tool if you were to ever want to take this apart. Handle scales also have the groove here. I always like when this is done because it just guides your thumb into that deployment on the thumb stud. Liner lock is I kind of like it when I have easier to access liner locks. That said, when I've gone to close the knife, I've never been frustrated and I can't get it. So it's not quite as prevalent as other knives that I've used, but it's not hard to get to at all. So nothing that would bother me overall. Thumb studs on this, they do contain somewhat of an abrupt angle. Not terrible, but somewhat of an abrupt angle. Nothing that would concern me. Same thing on the frame in here. So one thing that I did is I got a scrap piece of what used to be a 2x4. I batoned that down to this size, and then I started carving a little duck. Nothing fancy. I just wanted to kind of go through and give me an idea of how the knife performed, both the edge, the ergonomics, all that kind of stuff. So sometimes when I do that, I find I ferret out differences in the ergonomics than when I just do EDC use. For example, in doing these type of cuts where I'm really bearing down and I'm trying to remove a lot of material, when the blade sticks and it wants to kick and I'm pulling back with the kind of the ring and pinky finger to compensate for that, I do notice this abrupt angle digging in to my fingers. Is it enough for me to be really irritated and want to throw the knife down and say, gosh, it's killing my hands, I don't want to use the knife? Absolutely not. But it is something that I notice. It's something there. So again, something I feel I kind of need to talk about and ferret out when you talk about ergonomics in the knife. Pocket clip. First time I saw this, I almost chuckled myself and thought, what in the world are they thinking? That short of a pocket clip? That is ridiculous. It is right side carry only. Now, going back to the ridiculous comment. No knives that I've ever had have a pocket clip this short. I thought that's not going to function correctly. How wrong I was. After I started using this, pocket carrying this, it actually works great. One of the things too is removing from the pocket, it's just that less of a space to remove the knife. Does that matter overall? Not really. But the point is, this is a great functional pocket clip and very minimal. When this buries down in the pocket, it buries relatively deep. There's not a lot of knife sticking up, and then you only have just a very small pocket clip. It actually works great, and I've very quickly actually come to like it. Very strong pocket clip, because being as short as it is and compact as it is, there's not a lot of spring tension, but in and out of pocket, it's been fantastic. See a little lanyard hole there, not overly enormous, but it is there. And overall, I like the design. It's been a great EDC knife. It's been a good food prep knife. The only reason I say good is it's not a full flat grind, which is a better food prep knife. But for an EDC knife and food prep and the stuff I've done with it, it's worked fantastic. Overall, great lines on it. You can see the pattern on the handle scales there. They do offer a very light traction. It's kind of slick. Again, that's coming from somebody that really likes aggressive handle scales and gimping. So take that for what it's worth, but it is a little bit slick, but you do have some traction added with the with that style of, I'm getting the piano tuned up there. I mean, you might be able to hear that. With the style of scales. One thing I want to point out with this gimping while I'm thinking about it is the fit and finish of scales to the titanium frame to the actual blade. And this is when you start to sift out poorly designed knives, or poorly produced knives I should say, versus really nice knives. It is kind of big and bulky in your pocket. For some people, don't care. Others, yeah, that may mean a difference, so whatever that means to you. Price on this thing, guys, this is not a cheap knife. This is a high-end knife. As such, it comes with a price tag. It's about $260 depending on where you get it from. Whatever that means to you guys. Some guys are going to be totally digging it. Others like, nope, you know, give me a Spyderco Tenacious. That's all I need. I just need something to cut. Totally get it. Southern grind, great EDC blade. If you're wanting to look at that higher end type of blade, this is certainly one worth considering. Pretty nice, and a lot of different options you can go with as well on this blade. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you.